Hey friends, welcome back to another video. So this is the last step of your spousal sponsorship application. The form number is 5533. So if you are new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. My name is Guri, channel name is UV and Canada. Without wasting your time, let's get into it. Okay, so straight going from the form I-M-M-5533. If you go to Google, you can search this form, and when you search you will see a list of the forms and you can download this form from here. Document checklist. I have already downloaded this form and I have already opened this form in this tab. This is the document checklist form, which is the last form of your application, and you need to be very careful while filling out this form. So first section is information about previous examination to be completed by the sponsor. The person I am sponsoring was declared as my spouse or partner and was already examined and non-accompanying dependent when I applied for a permanent resident visa and did not receive an immigrant visa. This is the case if you have already informed in your application when you applied for your permanent resident, yes, the person I'm sponsoring will not be accompanying me to Canada when I'm moving as a permanent resident. So most of the cases it should be no. And then we have part A forms required. So this is the first document that we already filled, which is the document checklist spouse. This is the form that we have already opened. So first, once you have go through the entire form and checked off all the options, then you also need to print this form and scan it. Then you need to also attach this form alongside your application. So this is the form which we are talking about. So we need to tick yes here because this is the form itself we are including in our application package. Second thing is application to sponsorship agreement and undertaking. This is the form 1344. I have already made a video about this. I will link down below for form I-1344 with this. Second option is form 1344, which we have already covered in my previous video. You can watch that video here. I will also add the video's link down below in the description of this video. So we need, if you have already filled this form, print it out, scan it out, and if you have applied it online, then you might have filled that form online. So I'm going to tick yes here. Then we have the application fees. After you have completed all the forms, there is an application fees that you need to fill, that you need to provide the IRCC. After you submit the application fees, they will provide you a receipt that you must include into your application package. So this is the right of permanent residence fees. There are two types of fees. One is biometric fees. If it is also included in your package, then you need to also pay that fees as well. So we need to tick yes here and tick yes here. Then moving towards the financial evaluation, this is the form 128. Then we are going to move to point number 5, which is the class of application. This section is for the applicant. So I'm going to tick yes here. So this section is going to be filled by the primary applicant. There are three options. I'm currently living in Canada with my sponsor. I'm currently living outside of Canada. I'm applying under family class. I'm currently living in Canada and I am applying under family class. So this most of the cases when we apply for the spousal sponsorship application, the sponsor mostly resides in Canada and the person or the sponsor who are most of the cases they are living outside of Canada. So I'm going to tick this option because this was the case with our spousal sponsorship application. And if your spouse is living with you in Canada on a visitor visa or a student visa or any other visa, then you need to tick this option. Then next option is generic application form. If you have filled this application online, then it should be a normal HTML form that you need to submit via online application portal. And if you are applying with the PDF format, then you also need to download this IMM00008 form, and you need to fill this form where we need to fill the principal applicant's information. So this is the generic application form that you also need to attach with your application package. I'm going to take this yes here because we have already attached this form with our application. Then seventh option is for country specific requirements. This might be different for every country because every country they are expecting different for every country they have certain rule or certain recommendations that you need to go through. So I will also suggest you to go through this link and download the application package according to your country. I'm from India, so I have downloaded the application package for my country, which is India, and I don't have any additional forms. So I'm going to just click yes here and write NA here, NA with slash, copy it and paste it everywhere which is not applicable to my application. So I'm going to type NA here in all the fields. Okay, then we are moving to the point number 8, which is additional family information, which is for 5406 form. I have already made a video about this. I'm going to attach the videos link down below and you can watch this video right here. So this is the form where we have provided our the primary applicants families information. So if you have already filled that form, make sure you have filled the correct information of all the family members. Do not skip or do not miss any required information, and print that form, scan that form and attach that form with your application. I'm going to tick yes here because we did the same. Next, the ninth point is schedule a background declaration. This is another background declaration form where they're gonna ask you your background, that background of the principal applicant, which is your past 10-year history, which is your past 5 or 10-year residential history, what you did in the past 10 years. So you need to go through the form. I have already made a video about this form. This one I will attach a video link down below, or you can watch this video right here. I'm going to tick yes because we have already covered this video and the form. So now moving to the point number 10. This is the relationship information sponsorship evaluation form, which is 55532. So this form has part A, part B and part C, where you need to explain how did you got in a relation, how did you get married. You also need to provide details. You also need to provide the first time when you guys meet. So basically you need to write down the entire story of your relationship from starting first day to the today's date. Right now when you are applying for the sponsorship application, so you need to elaborate in your words. Make sure you add all the facts and figures, places name, dates name, person's name who were involved in your relationship, and the especially places. If you went to any restaurant, you had on which date or any occasion that you guys celebrated before your marriage or after your marriage, you need to mention everything. So this is the form. You can watch the entire video on 5532 form right here. I will also add the videos link down below, and I'm going to tick yes because I have already attached this form into my application. Now I'm going to move to point number 11, which is use of representative form 5476. This is the representative form. I have already made a video about this form. You can watch this video right here, and I will also add a video link down below. And this is the form where you need to specify if you are taking a help of if you are taking a help of a representative during the process of your spousal sponsorship application, or if you are not appointing any representative, then you need to take this option. So we must take yes here, and because I am not appointing any representative, I am not going to take this. I'm going to take this option because I am applying for my wife, so we have not hired any representative. So this is the option I'm going to take here. And the 12th point is authority to release personal information to designated individual, which is the 54775 form. This is the form that you are giving your consent to IRCC because you have provided all the entire detail of yourself, your spouse, your family members, and that information is very private and secret information you provided to the IRCC, and this is basically a consent form. So I'm going to tick yes here, and I want to authorize IRCC to release personal information to designated individual. So I'm going to tick yes here because we are going to allow IRCC to release our personal information with the other department so that they can verify our information and they can proceed our application file. Next is part B, supporting documents required. So while you are applying for your spousal sponsorship application, they're gonna ask you many documents to prove your relationship, many documents, the principal applicant's eligibility, and there might be they can also ask you about different they can also ask you about your financial status, your Canadian status here, the person who is applying for the spouse. So in our case, I'm the sponsor. I'm going to tick yes here. What is my status in Canada? I'm currently on permanent residence status, so I'm going to tick here. If you are Canadian citizen, you need to tick here, and if you have Canadian citizen certificate and card, then tick here. If you have Canadian citizen card without photo, then tick here. So these are the options you need to verify your Canadian status. According to that, you can tick here. And if you doesn't have any status, then you can click here, I'm an Indian. But I don't think, if you don't have any PR status or citizen status, you are not eligible to apply for your spousal sponsorship application. And second option is, are you a Canadian citizen living outside of Canada? If you are living outside of Canada and you have Canadian citizen, you need to tick yes. Otherwise, you can simply leave it no. You can tick yes and click no. Do you, the sponsor, and the person who are sponsoring have a children together? If you guys have children together, then you need to tick yes. In my case, we don't. I'm going to tick no here. And if you have ticked yes here, then you also need to submit other forms that they might ask you about your children's details, their name, their passport, their date of birth. So if you are going to tick yes here, you need to go through this link and make sure you download the forms that are required in order to add your dependent children in your spousal sponsorship application. So I'm going to skip this part, and now I'm moving to the previous relationship. If you had any previous relationship, you must specify here. I'm going to tick yes. Are you currently married to anyone? The person who are you currently married to anyone other than person? I'm going to tick no. Have you previously been sponsored yourself? No. If you have been sponsored by any other person, you need to tick yes here. If your answer is yes, you need to mention the person name who has sponsored you here and his date of birth, his or her date of birth. Have you ever been previously married? I'm going to tick no. If you have ticked yes here, then you need to specify the number of times you have married, and according to that, if you have married yes, then you need to, if you are divorced, you need to provide your divorce certificate. If the marriage was annulled, provide your final annual certificate. You need to check all the information if you have already married. And the last question is, have you ever previously been in a common law relationship? So apart from the marriage, there is also a common law relationship that is happening in Canada. And if you are in a common law relationship, which is kind of a marriage but not a marriage, but you can say it is a paper marriage, but there are some law and restrictions that you both need to follow. So if you are in a common law relationship with a person, you need to tick yes. Otherwise, tick no and move forward. Then this is then we have the employment or source of income. Suppose you have a job, and you are sponsoring your spouse, and then you need to provide all the details of your job. And if you have any business or any other source of income, you also need to provide your business account statements. So I'm going to tick yes because I'm working. So I'm going to tick yes here, and if you are working in Canada, I'm going to tick yes. Then you need to provide your T4 and notice of assessment and other if you are working in Canada, then you need to provide T4 and pay slips and notice of assessment from your past 2 years of the income tax return statement that you can download from your CRA account. And if you are not working in Canada, you need to take this option but in if you take this option, you need to provide any other source of income that you are eligible to sponsor your spouse, because financially your spouse will be the responsibility of you. So if you have any job, you need to provide all the proofs that can support your application. If you don't have any job and you are not working in Canada, then you need to provide source of income so that you can make sure the officer that I am eligible to sponsor my spouse here in Canada. So the identity document, which is obviously the passport of your spouse, you need to submit your latest updated passport copy. And if your spouse is living in Canada, he or she must have status here in Canada. It might be a work visa, student visa, or visitor visa. You need to submit those document with your application. And moving to this section, which is the birth certificate, yes, you need to submit the birth certificate of your spouse. And for country specific, in India we have national identity card, which is Aadhaar card. You also need to submit the Aadhaar card of your spouse with the application package. Moving forward to civil status, tick yes here. And after marriage, you must register your marriage to the government and they will provide you a certificate. You need to submit that particular certificate. And moving toward the previous relationship, if you had any previous relationship, then you also need to go through these options. I'm going to skip this part. And if you have any additional children's, if you have any dependent children on you, and you need to submit their information as well. I'm going to skip this entire section because this doesn't apply to us. And if you have any additional dependent children and they are minor, that means they are under 18 of age, you need to tick this option. And here is a 5604 form there that you also need to attach with for each children. And if your children are older than 22 year and they are still dependent on you, you need to submit the proof of dependency for children 22 or older. And if you have adopted any child, you need to submit the adoption letters and certificates with your application package. So I have skipped the entire sections because that case doesn't apply to us. And moving forward to police clearance certificate, which is also called the PCC, police clearance, I'm going to tick this option yes, police clearance certificate. And if your spouse has spent more than 6 months in any country, then you need to specify the country name here and you need to tick this option yes. And you and your spouse also need to get a PCC from that particular country and attach with the application package here. And if your spouse is in Canada, then you need to get Canadian police certificate from the Canadian Police Agency. They will provide you a certificate and you need to tick option yes. This section is for the military. If you or your spouse is in military, and you need to tick this option. And you also need to check if there are any other document that you need to submit if you are serving in military. For the photos, when applying online, you need to go through this link. This will open the photos photo details, that what are the dimensions of the photo. I will suggest you just go straight to your photographer and show him the entire section and all the details. I did the same, and my photographer just provided me the digital photograph according to these dimensions that are mentioned here on this page, and we submit those digital photos. And yes, you need to take this option yes, because we are going to attach 2 digital photos with our application package. Moving forward to medical examination, up to this step you don't have to pre-medical to go for the pre-medical for your spouse, because After submitting your application, the IRCC will submit first letter for your biometric for your biometric letter for your spouse. Second letter will be the medical examination. So we are going to skip this section entirely here. And proof of relationship to sponsor, I'm going to take a yes, because we need to provide the proof of relationship. Are you and your spouse currently living together? If you take a yes, if you take no here, then you need to provide proof of contact. How do you guys communicate daily basis? You need to provide your phone logs, WhatsApp chat, Facebook, Instagram, everything. And you also need to provide photos of your relationship. You also need to provide the proof of sponsors visit, like I am the sponsor, I have visited India for my marriage, we have visited any other places. You need to collect all the documents and submit with your application. And if you and your spouse is living in Canada together, then you are going to take the yes, this option, and you also need to provide these options. You should get a residential property document. You can get a, if you guys are renting an apartment, you must provide that particular document that you guys are living here as a couple. And if you have checked if you did not check at least 2 of the boxes, then you need to take this option. And you also need to provide the description or detail that why did you not take any of the option, yes or no. And the next option is, do you and your spouse have any children together, yes or no. We have this option, no. I'm going to skip this one. If this is a first marriage for both you and your sponsor, yes. And have you and your spouse been married for a minimum 2 years as of the date of the application, no, because I submitted my spousal sponsorship application just after 4 months of marriage. So if this is not your case, you need to take a yes, and you also need to check other options as well. Click here if you answered yes to all. So I have not answered any of the yes. See, I have A option is no, B option is no, C is this is the first marriage or both, no, and D is. Check here if you answered yes to all. If you have checked answer to yes to all, then you need to take this. If you did not answer yes to all for the above, also provide, then we need to submit the photos of your wedding, your customary celebration, your engagement, your honeymoon photos, etc. And then you also need to provide some government document. I would suggest you to open a bank account of both where you guys share the same bank account with same name. So this is a bank account detail where on the bank passbook both you and your spouse's name is mentioned here. And you can also get your spouse name added to your current employment insurance. I did the same. I asked my HR manager to add my wife's name into my current employment insurance document, and I downloaded that document as a PDF and attached with the application package. And furthermore, there are other proof of relationship that can be letters from friend or social media, proof of past cohabitation. It can be joint bank account or any other like you both guys can open a life insurance, which can also be a proof here. And this letter you can ask your relatives. They can provide you a simple letter where they will mention all the family members of both wife and husband, and they also need to add the details of your marriage, how you guys contacted each other, now where you guys are living in India or in Canada. So these are the details that you need to mention in the letter from friends or family. I can provide you the link of the letter that we added for our application. This is a PDF. This will be a Word document, and you guys can edit or update according to your requirements. So moving to the next part, if you did not check at least 2 boxes, then you need to tick this one. So make sure you provide at least 2 of the documents, and we provide 3 documents, and it was sufficient for the immigration officer. Moving to the last section of the application, this is the form 1344. I will suggest you right now open the 1344 form right beside you and check if you both have signed this document. This document must be signed by sponsor and the principal applicant, and then once you verified that signs are there and date is updated, you can check this off yes. And same thing if you are filling this form online, so 0008 is the online form, and there is not a sign, but principal applicant must type his name there and tick yes here. Moving forward to relationship form, which is 5532, I have already made a video, and you also need to, if you have already filled this form, keep that form open and verify if the sponsor has signed page number 3 and page number 8, and principal applicant has signed page number 4 and page number 8. So after this, moving to the additional family information, which is 5406 form, and if this is an online form, there must be a name of the principal applicant and all other family member, and if it is a PDF form, then there must be a sign that you need to sign that form. Moving forward to schedule a background declaration, which is 5669 form. If it is a digital form, then the principal applicant must need to type his name and all the family members that we are adding in the application package. And if it is an offline form, then there must be a space where you need to sign, the principal applicant need to sign with a blue colored pen. So next is use of representative. If it is a if you are using a representative or not, in both the cases you must provide 5476 form, which is a PDF form you need to submit. Suppose you are submitting one application package that include three family members. In this case, you need to submit 3 individual representative forms, and you need to take this option yes. And the last option is authority to release personal information to designated individual, which is 5475. So this is basically a consent form that you are going to add for each member that has been included in the application package. So this was the last option.